Just general, guys, how's first few days of practice, well, 4 days of practice, how's it been out there?
It's been good. It's been physical, a lot of competition, good reps on both sides of the ball. I mean, it's been great.
I would say competitive, man. That's been the biggest thing. I think the joy of playing the ball right now. I feel like everybody's been kind of had this like built up, I don't want to say anger, but just excitement to play football. We were lifting for 7 weeks, and once we were done with those 7 weeks, it's like, all right, we turned it up that extra gear, and it's time to go, and you really feel that right now.
I'd say for me, just being around like him, for instance, like a new offensive line and especially tackle, it's been a blessing, and just like the energy we have at practice has been a lot different than last year.
Fernando, how's it been integrating with the new team and how the past 8 weeks and all that stuff?
Dude, they've been awesome. They really brought me in with open arms, and I think I'm just really trying to change the offensive line culture that we had, and I feel like the team's starting to feel that. They're starting to feel our energy kind of wear off onto them, and then everybody's kind of starting to give us their energy, and so it's just really meshing well, and I'm enjoying it right now.
Luke, how's it been on offense, working with Bobby Petrino, and just the differences, I guess, from last year to this year?
I mean, it's been awesome. It's been really exciting just to learn from his perspective what he's going to do with the tight ends, but just the offense in general. And just having Keys back and Andreas come is going to be really good for us. And no, he's been great. I think he's going to be really good for us as tight ends, but also just for the team.
Fernando, talk about what it's like working with Eric Mateos. How's he been? How's it been with him?
Oh, it's been amazing. The standards up here, and it's like every day you're trying to reach it, and it just feels like you can't really reach it because it's just so high. But that's what you want as an offensive lineman. You really want somebody that's going to push you to your max every single day, and he does that. He brings the energy, and he works us hard, and I'm truly blessed to have him as my coach.
And you talk about changing the culture. Can you expand on that? What do you mean by changing the culture and kind of with the offensive line room?
You know, I feel like as an offensive line, you kind of have to be the catalyst for the offense, and I feel like I'm not really sure. I wasn't here last year, but I heard that it wasn't really that way. And so just this year, we've just tried to bring the energy every day to practice, hustle to the ball, and just be together as a group. As an offensive line, you have to be the closest group on the team, and people will really feel that. And so that's what we're trying to do right now.
Fernando, what did it mean to you? What Landon? I'm assuming you saw what Landon Jackson said about you. I mean, this guy's going against best in the SEC week in, week out, non-conference. What did that mean to you? What he said about you?
Oh, dude, he's an awesome dude, and he's a competitor. He brings it every single day at practice, and as a player and a teammate, that's all I can ask for, and he gives that to me every day. He's an awesome dude outside the field, even in the field. You know, we're trying to take care of each other, but at the same time, we're going at it. And so being able to go up against a competitor that good, I'm truly blessed. I can't ask for anything more.
Eric, for a while, it was a revolving door defensive line coach. You got Deke, I think it's his third year in a row. What does it mean to not having to be learning new terminology, new defensive line coach every year? How much has that benefited you guys?
It's huge, man. Just like you said, we had a lot of defensive line coaches here. And just to get them back, it's like we don't take no step back. It's kind of like ongoing because we know what to expect from him, and we know what he wants from us. So, I mean, it's been huge getting him back.
Luke, how tough was that, man? You got hurt at A&M. You were having a great season. You get hurt at A&M, didn't get to play the rest of the season. How tough was that? And just how'd you turn it into a positive?
I would say, I mean, it was obviously tough just because I wasn't able to be out there with my teammates, but I'd say I benefited from it. Becoming maturing into being like a man with like my loved ones, my teammates, and just I took that perspective into my injury, and I think it's definitely going to elevate my game this year. If something goes, not saying it is, but if something happens like that, I'll be totally fine.
Eric, question about today. What did you like about what you saw from the defense today?
I feel like we brought energy from the beginning to the end. Like everybody had energy coming in. And I feel like we started fast and we finished fast. So I feel like the energy level we brought into practice, it followed throughout the whole practice.
Building from last year, the defensive numbers were better last year. Where do you feel like y'all can go this year? What are the areas improvement?
This is the second year under Coach Travis. I mean, I feel like we can be way better than we was last year with just our pass coverage, our run stopping, and getting to the quarterback. I feel like we can improve that tremendously this year.
Eric, what have you seen from like Ian Gerard, how much has he progressed from his freshman year, and also outside with Quincy Rhodes, because those guys are going to play a pretty big role with y'all.
I feel like we see like maturity in them. They're taking the criticism and stuff they're getting for feedback throughout film, and then you see them apply the next day at practice. And I feel like that's a huge step from them from their freshman year into now. Because like before, we would see like they get in their head a lot, but now they're actually taking the coaching and they're applying it to the field.
And Luke, have you dropped weight from last year?
Yes, but I would say this year, I mean, I'm going to end up, my goal weight's 242, but right now I feel like I'm at a healthier, more lean weight. So I feel like that's a better start for me, and then working up to the season, I'll be up to 242.
So that was just kind of a cut it down and then build it back up?
Yes, and most of it was due to my injury, but most of the weight I've gained back is mostly muscle.
You thought about Varkey's, from where he was last year, obviously a guy with a lot of talent, but seemed a little maybe timid at times last year and seems a lot more comfortable.
He's a whole different person. Not saying he wasn't good last year. He was obviously really good last year, but this year it's a whole different Varkey's, and you can just tell he's more confident, and he's not getting down on himself when things don't go his way. And I feel like just the tight end room in general is a lot closer this year.
You feel like you guys are going to do a lot of too tight sets?
Yes, whatever Coach Petrino wants us to do, we'll do it.
Fernando, I think you've been playing alongside Patrick Kudus. Just what have you seen from him making the transition from tackle to guard?
Man, he's a tough guy, tough son of a gun right there. And playing next to him, he's a joy. If you know him outside of football, he's just a goofball, awesome dude to be around. But playing next to him, he's been really communicating well with me. And obviously he was here last year, so he has a little bit of experience. And just kind of him moving inside is nice because, that tackle, he's athletic, he can move well. And on top of that, he's really strong. So, those two things together, it's like that's all I can ask for as a tackle.
And you're one of three, transfers in at the offensive line. Just how have y'all kind of meshed with the returning guys, and how do you think they've kind of, accepted y'all in?
Man, it's been seamless. Those guys have really accepted us in, and then I think for all the transfers too is like we were willing to just kind of open our minds up, just try to be as friendly as possible, and just also like realize like, hey, we're all different and we're coming from different scenarios, but like this is gonna be our unit, and we have to blend together, and we've done that right now.
Speaking of transfers, Luke, Taylon Green's the quarterback now, not KJ. Talk about what your thoughts are on Taylon Green and how he has looked.
Yes, I get the privilege. He's in my locker, Alex, so just being able to hear him, he's obviously a leader on the field, but also like in the locker room, he's very vocal, and we're just talking about each other's lives. And I just think his leadership is tremendous compared to any other quarterback that I've had, and I just love everything about him.
Eric and Fernando, I was wondering maybe what have you guys seen from the Petrino offense so far? Eric going against it, and from Fernando maybe just coming in with the offensive line.
Oh, they're throwing a lot, man. They're throwing a lot at us, so we have to stay on our game, and it's something new every day. So we can't just be focused on what they did the day before. That they throw something in new the next day. So we got to be on our toes, man. It's really helping us a lot.
Yeah, like you said, there's a lot of stuff in, and as an offensive guy, there's a lot to process, but it makes it kind of easier on you because they're trying to guess on what we're doing, but it feels like almost like a million things going on at one time, but, it's really fun to be a part of because there's so much going on, and then he just kind of lets us play as offensive linemen, just run, get going, and then just be physical at the same time, so it's been a lot of fun.
Fernando, you've kind of hinted at, like, what you've heard of maybe the struggles of last year. I'm just curious, how much has maybe Josh and Patrick talked about it with you guys, about maybe it's wanting to get things right to turn it around, or has it been a flush it and let's move on to this year?
It's mainly a flush thing. It's actually funny enough, a lot of the people that are like talking about it would be like the people on different positions. So it's like the wide receivers, but it's all positive. They're all like, man, dude, like the way you guys are talking this year, the way you guys are bonding together. It's more of like the other people like kind of noticing what we're doing, how we're changing. And I just think in the offensive line room, we're just trying to flush it, not really think about it. And this is a whole new group of guys, and we're rolling with these guys, and that's all that matters right now.
Luke, you had such a good freshman year. I mean, is there anything like specific you're really thinking I've got to not have to get better, but what you're looking to improve this year to maybe take the next step?
I would say for sure run blocking. That's going to be a big part. But I feel like with Coach Turner, he's the best, and just being with him, even when I wasn't playing, being able to learn from him on like my footwork and technique has been a huge deal for me. And just going into this spring ball, I've been able to notice that pay off a little bit. So it's been good.
And what was it like, the success that you had last year? I know it was only the early part of the season, but was it maybe just coming in and having that impact a little surprising at all, or something that, you know, that maybe you kind of expected and knew you had that in you?
I would say I wasn't sure if I was expecting it or not, but God just definitely put me in the right spot to be able to perform at a high level, and I just tried my best, gave my best, and it all turned out really well. And I was thankful for Coach Turner, Coach Pittman in the tight end room just trusting me to go out there and play.
Fernando, aside from being the new guy, I guess, what's been the biggest differences that you've noticed from coming from San Jose State to what you see at Arkansas now?
I would probably say just not winning every rep. It's different, man. When you're going up against Landon Jackson, like I had a really rough day 2 days ago, and it's good though. You need those rough days to become great, and that's just been the biggest thing, man. The speed, the competition I'm going up against, it's all I could really ask for, and that's kind of the reason why I transferred. I wanted to get good reps at practice, and I'm getting that right now with guys like EG, guys like Landon, and there's a bunch of different guys on that defense that really bring it every day and make it challenging.
Anything culturally or environmentally?
No, man, I think just kind of the group of guys are kind of the same. It's a little bit different being out here in the South. They talk a little bit different, but other than that, you know, it's about the same.
Eric, you're one of the oldest heads on the whole program, and you're hearing a guy who's fresh to the program talking about a new spirit. What's your take on, like, where the program is after last season?
I think we evolve every year. We learn something new from the past year every year. And just kind of like what Fernando was saying, like I see a lot of difference on offense. I see energy on the offensive line like every single day from the jump. They're bringing energy and they're pushing us to screen even harder. So I feel like that's really huge for the defensive line and offensive line to take that next step to be even better.
It might have been behind you, but Jalen Braxton had a pick today and looked like he had a couple of breakups and all. What are you made of the DBs, and particularly a guy like Braxton who might be moving into a starting role?
Yeah, I feel like they're learning the system better. I feel like everybody that's came back is learning the system better. They know where they're supposed to be, how they're supposed to fit, and I feel like that's just helping improve the whole defense.
And if you could on Nico, he's been with the ones, he's been making plays. Can you maybe talk about what advancement you've seen from him?
Yeah, you can just see it just looking at him. He's got stronger, and he's more confident in his ability to stop the run and to get after the quarterback. And we see that, and we've been seeing it in the off season, and from the first day that we started practice, we've seen it. So.
Fernando, I forgot to ask this to you, but we've seen Coach Pittman really, really work with you guys a lot. You know, when we come out to practice, it feels like heavily he's working with you guys. Mm-hmm. How have you seen him, his influence there over on the offensive line?
It's been huge. Obviously, as you know, he was an offensive line coach, and that was kind of the main reason why I wanted to come here. Is he told me that he was going to be with the offensive line more, and he's really stuck to that word. And he's just been giving us some gold nuggets to really take with us. Obviously, you got Eric Mateos as our O-line coach, but he's coming over there and he's kind of bringing in his own like little ideas, and just kind of having those two. It's like having two offensive line coaches, and it's tremendous because you're always learning something, and you have 4 eyes on you at all times, so you can't really complain. You can't really mess up.
On Talon, what's your just take on his leadership with the first unit? What's he been like, Talon?
He's a great guy, and I think he's really pushed a lot of football onto a lot of people. He wants to bring people in to watch film all the time, and then on top of that, he's just going around the locker room just trying to really get everybody involved. And I think that's kind of the biggest thing, is just how friendly he is and how much of a true teammate he is. And as a quarterback, that's all you can really ask for.
Eric, how is Anton kind of adjusting to the SEC speed and all that kind of stuff you see?
Well, yeah, first getting in, you kind of see a little bit where he can improve in, basically like just at the speed of the game. But I feel like through practice 4, I feel like he's gotten a lot better from day one. We see the natural strength he has and the bend he has. I feel like he's coming together now.
All right, thanks, guys.
Thank you, guys. Thank you.